They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out.
All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. And this weekend we are playing Colorado. Final game of the season for us. Final home game. Final game and final home game. Should be a great matchup, guys. Colorado kind of has nothing to lose, so they're going to throw it all out on the table. And we're kind of in the same spot. I mean, we could get a better bowl game, but outside of that, there's not much more we could gain from this. No longer in conference championship contention. It's just kind of the last game of the season, a fun one. Let's go ahead and bring on the other guys here. We got Brian Ankrum, and we've got Larry Pilgrim. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well. How's it going?
It's going well, man. What about you, Larry? You with us? Let's see if Larry's there. Okay, well, we'll skip Larry for now. Whenever he figures his audio out, I'll bring Larry back on in a minute. Brian, good to have you on tonight, man. Let's spend a minute. I didn't put this in the show notes, but I figured why not spend a minute talking about, Thanksgiving, what we're doing for Thanksgiving. Oh, you got a dog in the back.
It's a mess right now for me. So we traveled for Thanksgiving. I'm in deep South Texas, down kind of pretty close to South Padre Island, at the in-laws' place. So we got a bunch of family over. We brought our dogs, and they're barking out the window at everybody right now. So sorry for background noise if it happens. We're doing the best we can.
What kind of dog is that? Is that your dog?
Yeah, we have two dachshunds.
Okay.
So they bark at everything.
I'm sure. Larry, what about you, man? How are you doing tonight?
Good. Just running a little behind. Sorry, fellas.
Hey, no big deal. No big deal. I'm just glad you guys could both make it this close to Thanksgiving. What are your plans for tomorrow, Larry?
Me and the boys are going to play around in a golf while the girls are getting everything finished up. Then we'll come home and good day planned. You?
Me, I am just hanging out with my wife and my kid. Just pretty chill. Just going to hang out. We're going to make turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. I don't know about you guys, but I love Thanksgiving food. It is definitely
green bean casserole, baby.
Meat casserole. Yeah, there you go.
No, green bean casserole.
Oh, green bean casserole. I don't know if that's what I get hyped for. My thing's the stuffing. I love stuffing, dude. It is. Yeah, it's the only. When else do you eat stuffing? Like it's like you eat turkey other times during the year, but stuffing is a unique Thanksgiving thing for me, at least.
So the question to you is it actually stuffed in the turkey, or do you make it on the stovetop? That's important.
Stovetop. Do you do it stuffed in the turkey?
I kind of like both. It's just kind of has a different flavor, I guess, especially if you throw the gizzard and everything else in there with it.
Excuse me. Sorry about my cough, dude. I got sick, and I'm not sick anymore. I definitely don't feel sick. You guys ever have that where you're like not sick anymore, but the cough just won't leave? It is very annoying. It's very stressful. Okay. But anyway, so let's talk Utah versus Colorado, guys. A fun matchup. I want to keep tonight's show pretty chill, pretty relaxed. We'll just talk about the matchup. I think I speak for all of us when I say we should win this game. No matter what, we'll talk about all the variables, but we should win this game. So I'm not going to make it a huge analytical thing, but we'll talk about some fun matchups and some things to look forward to. The first thing to talk about is Shedeur Sanders. Now, Shedeur Sanders has been the topic of a lot of conversation leading up to this game. It seems like he is still, even up to this moment, has not been cleared that he will be playing. Not that he hasn't been cleared, it just hasn't been confirmed that he'll be playing. Larry, do you think we see Shedeur out there?
Oh, he looked pretty hobbled. I think it'd be wise for him not to play. God. I think he's going to play. I think he'll play. If I had to bet.
There was a report that came out maybe like an hour or so before we started this stream that was saying that it was from Sports Illustrated, saying Deion Sanders says Shedeur Sanders is not feeling well. Could be a smokescreen, though. What do you think, Brian? Do we see Shedeur?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Same thing with Larry. Yeah, he got beat up last week. They brought in that walk-on quarterback. I don't even know. I can't remember his name.
Cobb.
And then just kind of Cobb, and then allowed defenses to tee off on him as well. So would it be wise for Shedeur to face a Utah front seven in Rice-Eccles Stadium? I don't think so. I mean, you're going to put the kid at risk at some point. I mean, he's been at risk all season. Pride-wise, I mean, I'm sure they want to play. Who doesn't, right? So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he does not play. They don't have anything to gain from this besides what I said, pride and some respect. They can't make a bowl. This would be a tough spot for him.
And let's go with the follow-up question here, guys. What does Shedeur Sanders mean to this game? How good is Shedeur Sanders? Let's start with you, Brian. How good is Shedeur Sanders?
I think he's a very good quarterback. He just doesn't have any type of protection back there, and playing a tough Power 5 schedule this year, it's really gotten to him. We all knew that Colorado's lack of any depth was going to be an issue, and especially the line. I mean, there's just nothing there to keep him protected. He made a lot of magic happen early, and the magic just kind of has run out over the course of the year. So how important is he to this current team? Absolutely. He's the most important guy to this team because he can be electric, along with some of his good offensive weapons that he targets. Travis Hunter and drawing a blank on Weaver. They can be very good. Did I lose you there? Oh, there we go.
No, sorry, that was me. I was changing up the screen.
They can be very good in the passing game. Now, the whole question is, can they protect him? I would say probably not in this game. I think Utah is going to come out hungry, and if he is in, then they're gonna feast, whether he's in or Cobb's in at quarterback. Or Cobb, is that right?
Yeah, Kalb, however you say that.
Oh yeah, Kolb, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think our defense will feast either way. They're gonna be ready for this game. They want to finish the season with 2 wins, and you know what, have another 9-win season. That's a not a bad thing for this Utah team to strive for, given what we've gone through and what those kids have gone through all year with the injury bug.
Yep, good points there. And Larry, what are you thinking? How good is Shedeur? What does he mean to this game and to this Colorado team if he is in?
I think he's the Caleb Williams of Colorado. I mean, you take Caleb out of USC, same with Shedeur. I don't think they would even have 4 wins if it wasn't for him. So he's good. He's just been so beat up. I think he's huge for Colorado. If he's not in, man, that's trouble for them.
Yeah. My thing with with Shedeur is I think he's incredibly good. He's 89.5 or something like that for his PFF grade. That's just so you guys know, that's ridiculously good. QBs don't just get like gimme grades. Like some positions automatically get good grades, like running back. Usually, like it's surprising when people don't have good grades. QB, it is like to be up in that 90 range, you got to be pretty damn good. And think this guy, like to get a 90 grade against the schedule he's played, like Colorado as a team hasn't done well. But for him to pull off that type of grade with the whole game being put on his back week in and week out against a tough Pac-12 schedule, the guy is legit. And he's doing 300 plus passing yards a game against defenses that know that they cannot run the ball, right? So they're just it's the opposite problem of what they do with our offense, right? Where with our offense, they stack the box. With the Colorado offense, they back up 3 down linemen and let them run. So it definitely a tough go for Shedeur. Brian, I saw your comment there too. I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know if he was saying Utah or YouTube. I think he meant
I think his phone autocorrected. PNW said YouTube pretty hobbled also makes it a fair fight. I think he meant to say Utah and his phone autocorrected on him. It was pretty good. It made me laugh.
My guess with Shedeur is that he I'm really 50-50. I don't even know if I'd give a guess. If I was going to give a guess, I'd say he does play. I feel like if he wasn't going to play, why would Deion Sanders even say anything? Why wouldn't he just, just say, I'm not going to comment on that? Kind of like what Whittingham does, where it's like, hey, I don't want to talk about injured players. Like it doesn't benefit us. So I don't see why. I feel like I'm leaning 55-45 that he does play. Okay, guys, next topic we wanted to talk about was going to be Travis Hunter and Sione Vaki. So these are two of the players in the conversation for the best overall player in college football or best two-way player, or whatever the award is, the Paul Hornung Award. It's the
Paul Hornung.
Horning Award. What's the actual description of the award? It's like most versatile player.
Yeah, I think it's most versatile player in college football.
Yeah, something like that. But it's we got two of the most high-profile two-way players in college football. Travis Hunter and Sione Vaki will be out there. Who makes more of an impact for their team? Larry, let's have you go first on this one.
I think Sione does, just based on all the other issues we have, like with some of our defenders going out, offensive players going out. Travis Hunter does make a huge impact for Colorado, but I don't know if he makes as much of an impact as Vaki does, in my opinion.
Yeah, good points. Yeah. Go for it, Larry.
And I think it's neck and neck. I think they both deserve it. I think they're both just, ballers on both sides. It's just amazing. Both those guys could just play on one side and dominate. So, but that's my take.
Yeah, quick follow-up question for you, Larry. How much do you think Utah uses Sione Vaki on offense this game?
I think Bishop's supposed to be back for this game. He had the flu, is what I've been told. He had the flu last week and why he missed, which I don't know why he would have traveled with the team. You don't go into the office and take it, So anyway, I don't think he's gonna play much on offense. I think we're gonna see some Randall and stuff like that.
Cool. Brian, what about you? Who plays a bigger impact in this game this weekend? Travis Hunter or Sione Vaki?
I'm also going to go with Vaki on this one. And just this game, or was the original question just who?
It's about this game. Yeah, sorry if I wasn't clear. It's about who plays a bigger role, bigger impact this weekend.
Yeah, that's dependent on Vaki's usage. I'm kind of in the same agreement with Larry that I don't think he'll be used as much offensively. They've kind of strayed away with that, or strayed away from that in the past few games. I know that there were, he was needed a lot more in the safety position, but bigger impact. let's say if he were to get usage, I think 100% Sione Vaki. And the reasons are Travis Hunter's phenomenal out there at the corner and the wide receiver position, but it's the corner and the wide receiver position where they're isolated away from the play for the most part, unless they're targeted by the opposing quarterback or their own quarterback. Sione Vaki playing strong safety has effect in the passing game, in the run game. He's a huge run stopper. And then you throw him in at running back, where he can basically be a wide receiver or a running back, which he's shown when they put him in an offense. They wheel him out. He catches passes, on wheel routes, on screens, and can outrun everybody. So I think he's going to be more impactful if we can involve him more in the offense between the two, just because of basically how many touches he's going to get and how much he's going to affect Colorado's offense defensively.
Yeah, really good points. I think Sione Vaki is going to be a guy that is a big key for this or for the defense, considering how many guys we're going to probably have out. It sounds like we'll get Bishop back, but even with Bishop back, if Reed and Ellis are still out, which it seems like they will be, that's going to be tough on the defense. So I'm sure he'll play a big role.
Ellis is out for the year also.
Yeah. And then I haven't heard has anyone heard anything about Reed being back?
I haven't heard, but I think he was I think he had a sickness as well. So Whittingham came out Monday and said if they play today, as of Monday, there would be like a dozen players that would not play. So there's a huge flu bug going around the program, and I hope it's been resolved and these guys have some energy and can come back in for the Saturday game. I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, definitely. And so what I was going to say is that I think if our defense is as short-staffed as they have been, like the Arizona game, then Vaki will play a really big role. But I think either way, I'm going to go with Travis Hunter just because it feels like there's a really good chance Shedeur Sanders is out. And if that is the case, he's basically like the main way they're going to be able to move the ball. So I would say if that is the case, Travis Hunter's the guy. If not, maybe it's Sione Vaki. All right, and let's keep going here, guys. Utah offense versus Colorado defense. This is pretty interesting, right? It's going to be a big factor this game. How well does Utah move the ball when we're on offense? Let's talk about the running game. Let's talk about the passing game. Brian, why don't you go ahead and get us started? How does Utah do against Colorado's defense, running the ball and throwing the ball?
I think Utah really does well this game, just like everybody has done well against Colorado this year. Just looking at some of their numbers, they're one of the worst defenses across the board, basically in every statistical category in FBS football. So out of 133 teams, there were a lot of them that were like 130th, 131st. There's really very few that are above the, outside of the triple digits. So I just think Colorado's going to have a really, really hard time stopping the run. Our offensive line really should excel this game, push them around. That's going to be our focus. I mean, hopefully our running back room remained healthy and no flu-like symptoms. And JJ's ankle, he played pretty much the whole game last week, or he did play the whole game last week. So that was exciting to see. And if we can get him going and really, really work him up front, it's going to open up things in the passing game where I think we can also take advantage of them. I mean, even Travis Hunter at corner, I mean, he's been mossed a few times this year. He's been torched quite a bit. I mean, just watching that Stanford game. So I think, the reps that he's seen all season have caught up with him. So they're susceptible in the passing game. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, we can throw the ball on this team. Travis Hunter or not. I mean, maybe we just don't target him. I mean, does that make sense? Probably. So I think that's the key, though. But we're going to really try to focus on establishing the running game in this game because I don't think they can stop it.
Larry, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be one of those just run the ball, kind of like we did with Arizona State. Just keep running, and throw a few passes now and then. I think that's how the game's going to go, and I don't think they can stop our running game. So
I'm with you. I think they're going to struggle against our running game, but I don't know if that's exactly the route we'll go. I think there are a lot of factors, right? I think the Shedeur Sanders thing plays a big role because if he's not in, you can literally just run the ball, like you were saying, Larry, because you're not going to be that worried about this offense putting up points. The thing is, though, when we were talking about how bad their defense is, they're 130th in pass yards allowed per game. So they're basically right up there with the worst team in college football for pass yards allowed. I think we are going to be able to throw on them really well. I wouldn't be surprised if Shedeur is in to see Bryson Barnes have a really big day, come out here, air the ball out, and really put up some good numbers against this crew. I think we'll run the ball as well. They're 90th in the country rushing yards allowed, but I think you make a good point. They're probably more 90th in the country at rush yards allowed just because teams are throwing so much against this crew. All right, well, let's talk about it, guys. Utah defense versus the Colorado offense. Larry, I'll start this one with you. How are you feeling here? What do you think happens?
I'm feeling pretty good, just based on their offensive line. I mean, even if Shedeur's in there, he can't run right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about our defense up against their offense. I just, without Shedeur, I don't know how they're going to move the ball, to be honest. So that's where I'm sitting with that.
No, I agree. I feel pretty similar to you, Larry. What about you, Brian? How are you feeling about this Colorado offense versus our defense?
Yeah, I also feel great. It just kind of depends on who we're going to see defensively for Utah this week. We don't know which players, were down with sickness, if any more have contracted the bug. So hopefully everybody is healthy and back in that can play. Obviously, we have injuries at key positions in defensive end and linebacker that, those guys are out for the year. But I kind of have a feeling that we're going to see most of our defense in. And, yeah, like Larry said, that offensive line is just – it's Swiss cheese. It's in shambles, and it has been most of the year. And I'm glad he brought up that, whether it's Shedeur or not, because I think that's going to be the case. I don't think it matters whether Shedeur is in there or Kolb is in there. There's going to be so much pressure in their face. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a lot of pressure. And speaking of pressure, I was looking up some numbers earlier today, and we've had a really good pass rush all year. But I think two guys I'd like to shout out on this Utah defense are Connor O'Toole and Van Fillinger. I'm trying to think of the numbers off the top of my head, but I know Connor O'Toole's number. It was 16 hurries or 16 total pressures on 149 pass rushing snaps, which comes out to like 10.7%. And just to give you guys an idea, a guy like Logan Fano, who was a really good pass rusher before he got injured, was right at 10%. And then I don't remember the exact number for Van Fillinger, but he was at about 12%. So 12% of his pass rush snaps were turning into pressures. I would just say, even though Ellis is out, really good sign of what we're looking at here for the team. We got a really good pass rushing unit, and I would say Colorado's probably in for a really rough day. One thing I did notice, and I don't know how accurate this is overall, but their pass blocking grades on PFF aren't that bad. Their run blocking grades are terrible, but I wonder what plays all into that, though. I'm going to go ahead and assume they're pretty bad at pass blocking based on their sack percentage allowed. So Is what it is there. Okay, let's talk about keys to the game, guys. I think we all feel good that Utah is going to win this game, but what do we need to do to make sure Utah wins the game? Larry, you go first on this one.
I think it's just getting the pressure on the quarterback. They seem to, their offensive coordinator, I think he changed, but they've got longer developing plays. And so I think as long as we can pressure the quarterback, I think we'll be fine. And then on offense, just run the ball and keep them honest.
Nice. And what about you, Brian? What are the keys to the game?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of focus offensively here. I mean, we just need to put the ball in the end zone. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but we've struggled with that. We've had multiple possessions this year where we get right near the red zone and then make a stupid interception or go for it on a fourth down and just turn the ball over on downs when we really had a good chance at scoring either a touchdown or at least getting a field goal out of the deal. So put points on the board, continually do it, and just put pressure on them. Make them make plays, and they're going to have a hard time against our defense. I don't think pressure is going to be an issue. I think we're going to see a lot of pressure this week.
Yeah, good points. I'm all about the trenches today, guys. I think on defense, we just need to, drop guys back, rush 4, and let our defensive line go beat the crap out of these guys. I think that'll be a big time key to the game. Brian, it looks like you got your family creeping in over there.
Yeah, my son wanted to come in and flash the U, so I had to scoot over and let him flash the U.
Awesome, man. Go Utes. So I think it's going to be about our D-line, rush 4, drop back, make it hard for them to throw. Because I could tell you, even if we're just rushing 4 and doing pretty passive zone coverage, making it easy for them to run, they are going to struggle to run, even if it's only 4 down linemen really worried against the run. I'm telling you, this is one of the worst running teams in the country. I think they average 2.2 yards a rush or something like that. It is like awfully bad. But I think that'll be a key, let our D-line do the nasty work, and they should get back there and beat up this offense. And then on offense, I'm with you. I think how I'd put it, Brian, is a little more of go out there with some swagger. Like, understand that in almost every matchup this year, our offense was going against the grain to get things done. Not in this game, dude. Go out there with some swagger. We are the better team. We should put up, our offense is significantly better than their defense, and we should treat it that way. And we should go, take shots, don't show them too much respect. Treat them like they are not on the same level as us. And I think that'll pay off. It'll get us some swagger and get us some good aggressive plays. All right, guys, let's talk about final predictions for this game. We'll go with and without Shedeur Sanders. Larry or Brian, let's start with you on this one. With and without Shedeur Sanders, what are your score predictions?
I think the offense will kind of turn that corner again this week. They've done pretty well against bad defenses this year, 35 to 40 points per game. So I kind of think we'll be in that realm. Last game in the Pac-12. That's crazy. Yeah. At home, so it's senior day. I think they really step up and we see a pretty good offensive performance this week and put up 40-something points. And on the flip side, I just don't think Colorado can get much going. They've struggled the last several weeks, besides that one Arizona game where they actually put up 30. But I don't think they score more than 20 points, let's say. Let's go, I don't know, 42-17 Utah.
42-17? Is that what you said? Brian, was that with or without Shedeur?
I don't think it matters either way. Without Shedeur, I don't think they hardly score a touchdown. It's going to be tough sledding to say the least. if they don't have Shedeur Sanders in there, because they, like you said, they don't have a running game. What else are they going to do? They got a walk on, backup quarterback that he just hasn't seen this kind of pressure before, and without him, I think we could shut him out.
Yeah, I think also without Shedeur Sanders, their morale might not be as high. I think the players will kind of be knowing that they're not going to win this game. Like, I could see this getting ugly quick if they don't have Shedeur. What about you, Larry? What do you think? With them or without Shedeur, how does this game go?
I think with Shedeur, I think it's Utah 28-17 with him. And I think without him, it's probably going to be like 38-6 without Shedeur.
Cool.
But I mean, they were able to score 31. I know it was at home against Arizona with a little bit hobbled. So they can't be a horrible offense because they did better than we did against Arizona. So yeah, 28-17 with Shedeur and 38-3, 38-6 without him.
It's tough to count that Arizona game for Utah. And obviously it counts, but I mean, like, the game script was so weird. It was like within 6 minutes, we were down 14 points. I feel like our actual performance when the game was like in the meat of it wasn't that terrible. Like, once we got going, it was just the beginning was so damn bad. It was like, obviously it's not an excuse for losing, but it's like the actual grades for the players and the stats didn't look bad. It was just we were out of that game from the get-go. It was tough to watch. Tough game.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Larry? Or
no, it was a tough game. The defense stepped it up like after the first series in the second quarter, and I mean they held pretty tight the rest of the game. I mean, that garbage touchdown, whatever. I had turned the TV off. That play probably happened right after I shut the TV down.
Well, you guys know how I was telling you, like, we didn't do the live stream after the game, and I made that video. I made the video and like recorded like 8-10 minutes, and then because I said the score. There was like 3 minutes left, and I said the score. I was like, damn it, why did I say anything? And then I had to go re-record the video.
Huh.
I'll give my final predictions. With Shedeur, I think we win this game 34-17. I think they'll get a couple big explosive plays. Some things will happen. I think we will beat up their defense, and I think our D-line will beat up their offensive line. They will struggle a lot, even with Shedeur. I think there's a really good chance Shedeur doesn't play, though. Without Shedeur, I see this game getting really, really ugly. Like, Shedeur really is, outside of throw up a lob up and a screen pass to Travis Hunter, Shedeur is their offense. Like, really, like, the numbers show that too. Like, he's making a lot of wild plays, like incredibly accurate throws to get this done. I think we beat them without Shedeur. Something in the 35-3 range. That's kind of where I'd be feeling. I think it'd be an ugly, dominant win for Utah if he's not in. All right, one last fun one, guys, before we get out of here. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you guys smash that like button. It'll help get the video out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below. We'd love to hear what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. And subscribe to the channel. Oh, also drop your score predictions below. So subscribe to the channel. We put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. All right, final thing, guys. Utes offensive playmakers for Utah. Who do we think has a big day? Larry, I'll let you go first on this one. Who do you think has a big day on Saturday?
I think Jaquindon Jackson. I think JJ has a big day. That's who I'm
How
going
big?
with.
Throw out a stat.
Oh, I'm going to go 208.
Total or rushing?
Just rushing. I think he's going to put up like 208.
I'd love that. Anyone else?
You got Brian.
Oh, okay.
I thought he asked you anyone
I
else.
was asking you, Larry. Anyone else or just
No,
JJ?
I think it's a JJ show.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
What about you,
So,
Brian? Who do you think?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go on mine. He stole mine. I was going to say JJ as well, but you know what? I can easily pivot on that. How about Vele? He's been playing great the past few games. How about Vele over 150 yards receiving?
Dude, I love that. Vele was probably going to be mine too. I'm gonna go for mine. One of these two guys. I know it's two guys, but you guys took the good option, so it's a little unfair to me. So I'm gonna go either because I really do think we're gonna throw the ball really well against this team. It's either Mikey Matthews or Landon King. I think Vele is gonna have a big day as well, but I think we're gonna see. And you know what? Let's throw in a third one, Munir McClain. Like one of those three is gonna have a pretty big like breakout type of game because the passing opportunities will be there, and eventually they'll start to key in on Vele, and we'll get some opportunities to get these guys open and see kind of what happens. And I'm sure eventually Bryson Barnes will start hooking up well with them.
So you just threw out every pass catcher.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the option. Look at the options I had. You guys took the good ones. But yeah, I really do think we're going to throw the ball. Really, guys, they are number 130 in the country at covering the pass. They are like the worst pass coverage team in the country.
Tough spot.
Awesome, guys. But I think it's going to be a great time. I hope you guys. What was it? Yeah, go for it.
Hey, real quick, instead of ending right here, do you want to do a quick little Q&A and maybe just point out what the chat's been saying? I can bring some up. So first of all,
49-6 Utes. Is this the one you wanted to go over?
No, I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to look at Dakota Nielsen. It's not even a question, but he said for the players out, he's guessing everyone but the water boys until they actually walk out on the field. So, fair assessment. That's kind of the outlook you have to have as a Utah fan this year.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't go that far, but I get where you're coming from.
How many D-line set, 3 or 4? I don't really understand what
I think I would guess we go 4. I would guess we go 4 pretty often, especially if Shedeur's not in there.
3 or 4 I don't think we're in front. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he's asking, do we have a 3 D-line set, a 4 D-line set? I think we go 4 pretty often just to get back there, beat them up. Yeah. What do you got? Yeah. I mean, I think we all agree 4.
For sure. Yeah, we aren't going to just drop back in protection and let him try to pick us apart.
I thought this was a funny one from Steven, and now Ludwig can finally run it up the middle on every play. This will be a fun game to do that. Good comment, Steven.
That was my next one that I wanted to talk about because that one made me laugh. You already pointed out the 49-6. So
he said Dakota says, wanted to mention I was surprised how highly Dion spoke of Witt. I'm not. I think Dion knows he's about to get his butt kicked, dude. And he's like, I better build up weight because this is about to be nasty.
And I think Dion respects what Witt has done over the past 19 years at head coach. So, I mean, who doesn't respect Witt in the coaching realm? I mean, everybody talks well about him because of what he has brought this Utah team to. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think that it was a surprising comment. I didn't hate it. You know what? It made me hate this team less seeing it. So I didn't like the comment for that simple fact, but I don't hate Dion. I've always liked Dion. He's just kind of who he is. He's Showtime. But no, I thought it was a good comment.
Hey, real quick, Brad with Bangerter here. He says, I am really unhappy because I am homeless now and my mom is in a rest home, was going to go to Idaho for Christmas. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, Brad. Hey, drop your email in the chat, and I'll put it up on the screen, and maybe someone will reach out and has something to help you out, man. That's awful. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. It's not the time to be dealing with that. That sucks, man. Hope that gets better. What do you think rising comeback means for Ludwig to stay? Is Ludwig staying? What do you guys think?
He's not. Where's he going?
Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, obviously Ludwig's staying. I don't even know why I brought that up.
And I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that as condescending.
No, you're right.
I just don't think there's anywhere for Ludwig to go. So I
think Ludwig. What are his offers after this year? I mean, like it felt like without Cam, he didn't have much going on.
No.
He asked, wasn't this his final contract year? Well, that maybe That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. So,
well, I think he had a 2. Isn't it usually the OCs and DCs are like a 2-year? And he either just signed one or he's due for one. So
either
I
way,
remember last
they're
year
not
when
they're not
Notre
letting him
Dame
go
was
anywhere.
recruiting him. I remember last year when Notre Dame was recruiting him, there was like talk of a buyout. I wouldn't be surprised if this is last year. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Ludwig left. I'm not saying Ludwig sucks. I'm not of that camp that he's like this terrible OC. But if we went a different direction, I wouldn't be like upset about it. I would be open to the idea.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to be here, then I mean, why do we want a guy who really doesn't have his heart into it? So yeah, I mean, if he left, I mean, I would hate it. I think he's done well for the most part. This year you can't judge off of. You know, we're short of so many weapons, so it was. I feel bad for Ludwig this year because what did he have to work with? I mean. We had one side of the field most of the time, and then it's hard to run the ball when you have to run against a stacked box. So
it's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream here. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving. Seriously, it's been a fun year of Utah football. I'm glad we got to experience it with all you guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving and go Utes. See you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Go Utes.
See you guys.